Hello everyone, I'm Blue Lemon and welcome to a time-lapse drawing. I was originally going to just talk like a little bit about this and then just like let it go, but because it's so long, I figured I'd just commentate over the whole thing and I need to get used to it. But anyway, so this is a Daisy fan art. This is actually a birthday gift for my twin. Our birthday was a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And so they thrifted the idea. The idea for this came from, so they have a Daisy figurine on their desk, and then they also thrifted this bunny figurine, which let me put on the screen really quickly. Let me just pop it and edit it. Yep, that was the picture for 2 seconds. I might extend it for future reference. But anyway, so that was a thrifted carousel bunny. So I figured I would make it a little bit more Mario art style, and then like it's Daisy's I don't know, bunny that she rides, I guess. I thought it would actually be a really cute addition to the Mario universe to just have these very large rabbits. Who even knows? Maybe there are very large rabbits in the Mario universe. But yeah, that was basically my whole thought process. Daisy is Ronnie's favorite Mario character. Mine happens to be Rosalina. I'm in the middle of trying to make a figurine of her currently. But, and then her outfit, I decided to use, I believe it's either her, I think it's like her sporty, maybe tennis outfit. Also here, I was kind of struggling with the face a lot because the original one I drew was not quite Daisy's shape. So you can see me drawing up some different face shapes, and then I was like, I guess I'll just try the face, and then I just thought it looked really weird, so in a second you'll see me put it off to the side, and so I keep trying to draw a new face or a new head shape because nothing just looked right. As much as I liked the original head shape, it didn't look like Daisy's head, so obviously I'm drawing this one off to the side here, and then I'll put it on separately. There you go. I adjust it even more as it goes on. Like in a second when I put the hair on, you'll kind of see. But yeah, I just figured I'd use like a little sporty kind of outfit for her that would like actually make sense that she'd be able to ride on. And of course I adjusted the decor, the decoration on the rabbit to match Daisy's kind of aesthetic with the flowers and everything. And then of course coloring, I make it match her color palette. Yeah, here I was like, man, Daisy's hair is like way too big off of her head, so you'll see me fix that. Yeah, I adjust it some more later. And then I was trying to kind of cheat my way into a clipping mask there, but it just was not working, so I just had to do it the hard way, unfortunately, to do the coloring. Daisy's was easier, I think. I don't know, it's been a minute since I've worked on this piece, but here I go with the coloring. And then I decided to change the pattern in the ear. It kind of had that like stuffed animal energy, so I decided to make it a flower pattern instead, and then fading the orange onto the fur, coloring in Daisy, obviously here. As you can see, I tried to be a little cohesive with the colors. And then I wanted to do this red line art, but I eventually decided that I wanted everything to have its own color. You just saw me shrink Daisy's head down a little bit. Yeah, definitely wanted to go with the red line art, but it just wasn't working out for me. I tried to make it work, and at first I was like, okay, maybe I'll do some of it colored and then some of it red, but it eventually just wasn't working, so I eventually just colored it all in, color matched it, just so, you know, it would be a little more cohesive and all that jazz. I keep it on the reins and on like the quote-unquote eyelashes of the rabbit and on Daisy. Let's see here. But, I mean, once I added that orange fade out onto the hair, it was like mind-blowing. I was like, this looks so good. Also, instead of creating a separate line art layer, I just colored in the sketch. I don't think I did this for Daisy, but I did with the rabbit, where I blended the line art a little bit into it, just to make it look a little nicer, because it was pretty scraggly, which, don't get me wrong, I do love a scraggly look sometimes with like line art or stuff. I just don't feel like I can pull it off like other people can. But I think I'm rendering Daisy's hair here, which the right like loopy bit gave me a lot of trouble The one on the left, not so much. I don't know what. I guess it's just a weird kind of shape of the bangs and everything. I don't know, because I feel like I couldn't achieve that like round look combined with the swoop. But on the other side I could, because of perspective. And then I'm shading. I'm trying to figure out a color to use. I think I go with purple here for the shading. And then I was actually kind of proud of how I rendered Daisy's clothes here as it goes on. I go back and I erase a little bit because I thought that fold in her dress was a little too prominent. Yeah, there we go. But I don't think I did too bad in terms of shading and everything. It was harder to do on the rabbit for sure because of the fur. I wasn't quite sure how to shade it or like blend it in properly because of like the random little like loopies and everything. So I just kind of dashed it along the hair and then I just tried to blend that in. But again, Daisy was a little easier to render because it was just clothing and skin and stuff. So it was all like smooth textures, and then I render the hair separately. But for the rabbit, I guess I could do that, but that would definitely take a long time to render hair entirely on the rabbit instead of just shading it like I did. If I had to go back and if I had like patience and motivation, maybe I would go back and render all the hair on the rabbit instead of shading it like this. There were parts of it, I go back and erase bits and edit it because I think it just looks kind of weird and dirty. That's the only bad part about shading in a certain way. I did also use a texture brush to blend with because I thought it might give it a more fun like look. Oh, and I'm adding the lighting here. I think I went just with a yellow. I think I just went in with a yellow here. I tried to give it that early morning vibe, but if I tried to use any blue, it just looked too cool toned. But yeah, there we go. And then we're getting that glowy kind of energy there. So my trick to doing like the line art to make it match with your lighting and stuff on your color layer, I just copy it and then put it on a layer on top of the line art so that way it matches and I don't have to go back in and do it individually. So this is the first background I did and I did not like it. So I thought I might do it like game cover style, but it just didn't work out. So I decided to do this like mushroom forest. I knew I wanted mushrooms in the background because Mario, they just have those gigantic mushrooms. So I was like, maybe Daisy's just on like a morning little trip here and she's just chilling. And I also made the mistake of making this grass and the sky layer on the same layer. Like it was too late to go back because later on I kind of wanted to darken the bottom of the sky a little bit, but I just couldn't do it because all this grass you're seeing is on the same layer as the sky. I don't know what inclined me to do that, but yeah. And then I go back and add some grass over top so that way you have some foreground stuff going on. Taking a drink of water because it's important. Encourage you to drink some water if you haven't drank some water today. Yeah, and I'm doing the top of the mushrooms first, and then I'll go back and add their like stems, stalks, whichever you would call it. Oh yeah, I shade them in first. I originally wasn't going to blend them together, but later on you'll see me blend in the shading and everything with these. I was just going to leave it static like that. Here I am adding these, which again, I didn't put the mushroom tops on different layers, so I had to do the stalks in a weird kind of way because of that. And again, the grass layer, it was combined with the sky, so I couldn't put it in front of the mushroom, so I had to kind of erase and blend. And then I believe I went back and added another grass layer on top of it because you can kind of see the sky poking through those a little bit. Here's I'm adding the shading to the stalks and everything, and it kind of looks like I'm already blending it in. This gave me a lot of trouble adding the shadows. I struggled with the colors because I kept being like, oh, it's not dark enough and all this kind of jazz. So yeah, you see me go back in with a darker color instead of adding a lighter color because at that point it just wasn't kind of working out. I think the right side ended up better in terms of shadow. Here I am adding the extra grass to blend in those shroomies a little better because it just kind of looked weird. Yeah, definitely, yeah, I had to go back and add a lot of stuff. Then I start kind of fading in. I'm doing some reflective lighting on the rabbit there to match. I'm doing lighting on the mushrooms. I'm starting to add a blur on the foreground there and on the mushrooms, and then I'm adding the clouds. I was going to shade them, but in my opinion, it just looked kind of weird, so I just decided to leave them shapey. Oh, sorry, flash warning. That was me trying to add the render layer, and it's done. Let me add the little PNG on the end because I didn't even think of that. Okay, so that is the final product. But yeah, again, I really like how this turned out. There are probably a couple things I would have done different, granted, but in the end, I really do like how it came out. And it's a 5x7, so I could fit it in a frame for my sibling. But if you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Many buttons to choose from. Well, even if you didn't enjoy it, you know, that's all you. Personal preference and all that jazz. But if you did, I have more art videos. I have more coming out. I've already done my first Sing character as Animal Crossing Villager. I will be posting that hopefully within the next week or two. I've done my dog as an Animal Crossing Villager. I encourage you to check it out. Sorry for the morbidness of the video ahead of time if you haven't watched it yet, because that was before my dog had surgery and I wasn't sure what the result of that is. But he is doing great. He is doing just fine. He made it through the surgery like a freaking champ. So yeah, this has been Daisy fan art. If you think this slaps and you want me to do more Mario fan art, let me know. I'll do it. Rosalina's my favorite, so that's probably who I'd end up doing next. And like I said, I'm doing a Rosalina figure. I'm not really recording it, but I probably will at least share a picture of it when I'm finished. Same thing goes for other figures I'm working on. I'm working on a Flora action figure, which Flora is from horses, which I have been playing. I know it's a niche game, so no one has really been looking at it, but I encourage you to check it out if you like an old crusty game with a intriguing storyline. It's not just about horses, but I'd say this has gone on long enough. Thank you once again for the 1 millionth time. If you haven't drank some water, drink some water. If you haven't had food, eat some food. If you haven't had your medicine, take your medicine. And if you have a pet, give them a little kiss on the head for me, because they deserve it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!